Welcome to 2021.
Your intentions is welcome to 2021. All right, my intentions for this episode is to be present, just to enjoy it, and then just share knowledge.
Oh yeah, of course.
Share knowledge. This is gonna be a cool episode. All right, I'm about to take these glasses off. They are. Thought I could be sophisticated for a while, but I'm not sophisticated. I'm just a simple man. But all right, welcome back to another episode of Wisdom in the Room podcast. I am your host, Matthew Gibson, and today I'm sitting here with a good friend of mine, my homie, my sis, Q Bird. How are you doing today?
I'm good. You know, welcome to Cali, man.
Yes.
Welcome to Cali.
Yes. I'm loving it out here. And I'm so glad I got to come to the Bay because it's a different flavor.
Oh yeah.
It's just a different flavor of Cali, and I'm grateful to be up here because I don't know, y'all just showed a lot of love.
Oh yeah.
Y'all showed a lot of love, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, mi casa su casa.
For sure.
We welcome anybody because we definitely know that sometimes it's hard times.
For
People
sure.
might just need somewhere to they want to travel, explore, but staying somewhere is expensive. Let's be real,
especially out here.
Right, especially out here. I mean, Airbnb not cheap, hotel not cheap. Where you trying to stay, San Francisco or Oakland?
Right.
So it's always a choice.
That in itself is a lot. Now, we've done a lot since I've been here, and I got off the plane. We came back here, but what did we do that first day?
Man.
We did a lot, but I think the first day did we go out the first day?
We did something the first day. Maybe we didn't. Maybe we just chilled.
I think we chilled.
Yeah, we had the dinner.
Yeah. We had the dinner, and then afterwards on the next day, that's when we went to San Fran. Went downtown San Fran, got some good food. Went to the Golden Gate Bridge. That was fun.
Yeah.
And then today went on that hike.
Woo.
And it was killing.
It was worth it though. It was worth it for sure.
I don't think people know how much different. I was telling y'all when we was doing it how I feel like in North Carolina the hike is gradually gets higher, and it's all right, we're at this point, but it's like a sprint. It's boom, we are high.
we did them 4.5 miles in 2 hours.
Yeah,
I mean, up some steps.
Yeah, really steep.
Yeah.
You got steep fast. You're dang.
Right.
This is a drop.
And I'm by far no expert. Okay, you saw the dude out there running, taking little gallops and whatnot.
So you got it, bro. Maybe one day.
Yeah. Of course.
Maybe one day, but nah. Thank you for coming on to Wisdom in the Room. I appreciate you. It's been. I think one of the reasons I wanted to have you on is because I just know that even back in school, it just be those moments where it's I feel like we can always just sit and talk. We just talk about real life stuff, and then it's a great conversation regardless.
Exactly. Sure. A lot of people don't know because I really don't tell them, but we're from the same place technically.
Yeah. Tell people where you from.
I'm really from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Yeah, the Trey. If anybody know about it, it's still the 336, but Trefo is just just a little bit to the left from Greensboro, but I lived most of my life in Greensboro.
Right, you grew up in Greensboro.
Yeah, I grew up in Greensboro, but I was born, for the most part, most of my family lived in Winston-Salem. So, you know, my father lives there. A lot of my aunts live there, cousins. Yeah, so everything. I'm in between all the time when I'm at home.
It's a connection. It's that trifold triad connection. Whether it be Greensboro or Winston-Salem, it's just that connection. So, like, tell the people where you're from. Tell someone one unique thing about yourself. What is one unique thing about Q-Bird?
I guess I would say one of my most unique things is the fact that I'm the oldest of, like, 11 siblings in all. Like, might not be all the same parents, but, you know, I know every single one of my siblings. You know, I can call them, talk to them, you know, whatever the case may be. And I think that's kind of like a blessing, because I think some people don't have that privilege to, you know their siblings, but then also have a relationship in some kind of way with their siblings. We might not always talk, but when we see each other, it's always love, and we always have a good time, you know.
So you're like a natural born leader, essentially, or just a responsible person. I would say, 'cause I feel like the oldest in any family always gets the burden of responsibility. Like, and you get also this. Stick with me here. I feel like the oldest always. You're like the example in this sense. Like, so like you get the privilege, and the privilege of learning things firsthand, like that experience, because dang, I had to make the mistake or I had to learn. And so like your younger siblings get to learn through you, but that also comes with that of like, all right, the mistakes, but I mean, mistakes helps you learn. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, dang, you know, you always feel like but you're the one, you have to bear the burden of responsibility.
I mean, in the reality of it, like, because I have such different relationships with each one of them. Like, I have some siblings that I actually have lived with for most of my life. And I have some siblings I never lived with, you know, at all. But still got a good relationship with, you know. But, yeah, I always definitely try to set an example, you know, because I do have my own dreams and admirations for us, you know, in reality. Like, if I could really make it, you know, with my dreams and hopes, like, I would love to be able to, like, go on a family trip, you know, do a sibling thing, you know, because most of us are old enough. Yeah. Like the top 7, they're of 18 and above. Yeah. Like, we can have some fun, you know, just like get to know each other, have some conversation, talk about some things, you know.
Yeah, really get to it.
Yeah, and link up. For sure. But it is tough being the oldest. It is, but that's, you know, when we segue into the next segment, you know, about expectations, then that's like a whole other situation. That's a whole bunch.
It is a whole bunch. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. But like, all right, so 2020, this is so like coming out here on this trip, for me it's kind of just been like it's been crazy, but it's for me it's kind of like a reflective thing, right? So like I'm on vacation basically.
Oh yeah.
And so a part of me coming out here is having these conversations, just reflecting on the year, just like that's what I've been doing for myself as I've been out here. Yeah. But like, how has 2020 been for you?
Oh man, 2020 has been like literally the year of reflection, or not even necessarily reflection, the reflection of myself, you know. I can't remember who said it, but a friend of mine said something about, you know, how long can you really sit and look at yourself in the mirror? You know what I mean? Like, really sit there and look at yourself in the mirror, you know, like with this everything that you've done, that you haven't done, where you're going, and just say like you're comfortable with that, you know, at that present time. And that was something I think I had to do because I lost a lot of things in 2020, or right into leading into 2020, you know, like lost my grandmother, lost a friend, and some of these people were like big chunks of like the Quezt brand, or just coming up with ideas, or just like the foundation of it. Yeah. And it's like, where my support system at? You know, I got a support system, but the people that I really kind of leaned on a little bit heavier than other people. Right. And so it was like, you know, more of a time of like, what am I doing? How am I doing it? Okay, am I really need to be staying out here in California, or do I need to go back home? Right. You know, like little decisions and conversations like that with myself had to be done. Yeah. You know, so it definitely was like a humbling moment, but then like a healing time. For sure. Like I needed to heal from some stuff. Like a lot of people don't know what someone who, you know, has been told, like, you have stage 4 cancer and you're 26 years old, you know, like, okay, it took a year to do the treatment, right? But then you got the stuff after the treatment. You got the psychological stuff that goes with it. There's physical treatment too that's afterwards. You know, like it took me like almost 6 or 7 months afterwards to really get like physical energy back. Yeah. You know, to like be able to do a hike with you now, like man,
that's big.
Right, exactly. I remember, you know, during a time like, you know, when I saw you, like I couldn't walk. Yeah. You know, so like little things like that I just don't take for granted. Like you know, I try to definitely move past that. But it's a process. Yeah. And at this point in time, you know, when I lost my grandmother, I had just got at the 1 mark remission. Like I think she passed like 2 weeks after I got to the 1 mark remission. You know, it was almost like, okay, right, you good, right? You like in this, so it's like weird, you know, kind of if you stay like, you know, say present, you know, and you seeing that all these things that are happening in your life, you're like, okay, I just got finished with treatment and now I've been, you know, in remission for a year, but someone that was like very near and dear to me just passed. Yeah. You know, was it like meant for her to stay around just long enough to see me make it through this? Right. And now what do I do? You know? So it's been a good year, I would say, and then vice versa of, you know, all the healing and reflecting that's got me back on track to like really figuring out who Q is and what Q wants. You know, like
that's important.
Beyond important. And in that process, like I said, you lose yourself sometimes because you don't know your body anymore. Right. You don't know like what moves you gonna make, you know, because for a minute I didn't have no job. Right.
Let's backtrack for a second, all right, just so people at home can know, right, your story, because like I think that's where we connect. Is how you say Quezt, right? Yeah. That's your brand. But like I connect with that because I see it life as a journey as well. Right. And so I think honestly for me that wasn't something that I started really acknowledging until most recently, but like recognizing that life is a journey. The things that we experience, the things that we go through on that journey is helping us to become who we will want to be one day, right? And so like that's why I can relate to it on Quezt. But for you have a story to tell. Like you got a lot to like. So like let's backtrack to the point where you were just talking about it. Like, all right, you had cancer, lymphoma. Yep. And so like take me back a little bit. Let's backtrack a little bit. Take me back like when you found out that you had it. Like,
man. At that point in time, I'm still living here. Yeah. I'm in Oakland. I'm attending the Academy of Arts. I'm getting my master's in fashion merchandising. So pretty much I'm learning how to create this brand. Okay. And I'm applying it, got a job. Then I start, you know, I'm like, okay, I want to add another element to this brand, but I need to kind of do some more like backstory stuff, you know, some more foundational things. So that's when I decided, okay, I need to be in the education field because some of the basis of my brand is on education, on teaching, how to teach, you know, not necessarily about life, but some different aspects in life, right, along the quest. So I started teaching at a middle school. And in that time, I was just, you know, different environment, you around kids, I'm moving, I'm hustling, I'm doing my thing. So I just thought I was getting sick. Yeah. You know, just like, you know. Just
being an occupant, working in school, you could definitely get your little itch. Give me some Theraflu, I'll be all right.
Exactly. Same thing. No, like we on a journey. Like, okay, you can't miss so many days of class, right? Boom, you paying this money. Then also, okay, you need your money also from work because you got your bills to pay.
It's going.
You know, so you got to do what you got to do. So, you know, it got to the point where, like, I had a coworker like, Q, you don't look good. Like, you good?
What you mean you don't look good?
I'm like, you tripping. She was like, nah, Q, like, for real, like, what's going on? Dang. And I mean, about that time, it was probably March 2018 at this point. And I just turned 26. The job I got, you know, it's an after school program, but it's not full time, so I don't get benefits. I don't have health insurance. So no health insurance. So I know something wrong, but then I can't go get nothing. Can't afford it. Yeah, right. Gotcha. Okay, so that's, you know, Medicare, health insurance, you know, that's another thing within itself. To the point after that where my coworker actually reached out to Planned Parenthood and got, like, you know, what would be considered a breast examination.
Yeah.
Right? Because at this point I had like a lump on this side. I had a lump on this side. And then I had went home for spring break.
Yeah.
And I had found another one.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, something's up.
Yeah, this ain't normal.
This ain't normal. So I started, doing my little research. I'm like, by this time, I kind of ruled out everything. I kind of had already came to the senses that I had cancer. I kind of knew. I had told like maybe 1 or 2 people when I went home that I figured that I did. I just didn't know what to do. That reality of figuring out like, oh, you got cancer.
Yeah.
So got the breast examination. The doctor at Planned Parenthood pretty much before I even walked out was like, you probably got cancer. I was like, okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Got an ultrasound. In the ultrasound, and at this point I'm just sick.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I got the flu. I'm just sick.
Darn.
And at this point I'm like, okay, what you gotta do? Yeah, let's get the biopsy before you leave. Okay, cool. Yeah, by the time I walked out the doctor's office, I think I called my mother and told her like, hey,
that's what it is.
This is what we got. No, we don't think like that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
he's like, I'm trying to be as real as I can with myself in the moment. Limit these expectations.
Like, I know we 3,000 miles away, Mom, but this is the reality and this is my life.
Yeah.
This is me. Yeah. Like, we gotta fight. Yeah. So what we doing? So that's a Wednesday. And then Thursday passed by. Mm-hmm. Friday passed by. It's literally probably like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 7 o'clock over there. Mm-hmm. You heard something yet? Nah, Mom.
Everybody anxious.
I'll call you when I get the number.
Yeah.
I'll call you when I get the number. And the doctor called me. She was like, yes, Miss Bird, you got Hodgkin's lymphoma. What? Cancer? Nah. Like, okay, cool. All right. You start calling everybody.
Yeah.
You telling everybody that you know that you mean something to.
Yeah.
Because like, at this point, I don't know what stage. Right. I just know I have cancer.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. Mm-hmm. It was, my life turned around just like that.
Yeah.
In an immediate second. At that point, I no longer had a job. I was still in school. Okay, I'm leaving California. Like, it was crazy, but at the same time, I kind of had to just let it go.
Yeah.
Like
your priorities is it's like, oh snap.
Like, to the point where like people was asking me like, are you okay? Yeah, I guess so.
Okay as I can be.
Right, exactly. So like, what do you do?
Yeah.
So, my mom flew out here. We packed my stuff up. And pretty much, I showed her around San Francisco. Mm-hmm. I showed my mom where I have been living for the last 3 years. Look, this is what I've been doing. Mm-hmm. This is why I live out here. This is why I gravitated to this place. Do you see me here? The reflection of who I am in this space. And she understood that. Yeah. She realized that. Like, she understood her child was out here following her dreams. And that's all she's ever wanted.
Right.
And at this point, I was like, okay.
And then you find out, like, when you find out what stage you was in, how much later was that?
So we stayed here for a week. We called Duke University. We called a couple different places,
everybody and their mama.
Right. Wake Forest, because, like at that point, you might as well go back to where got some good medicine at.
Yeah, for sure.
We end up going West Alone, not too far from my house, small facility, open spaces. Mm-hmm. Cool. Love it, They take me in and it's tests, multiple different tests. Lung test, I think like a chest ray, and then a PET scan, so it's crazy because You know, if you ever seen this movie, it's called The Fault in Your Stars.
Okay. I haven't seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's about the, you know, kids that have cancer. Yeah. And that girl, you know, she says this one line, you're like, you don't want to light up like a Christmas tree. So you get that PET scan, and that doctor showed me that PET scan, I mean, everywhere.
Yeah, it's lit up.
Lit up. Damn. Like, I thought I was good, you know, like.
Yeah, it's just one spot here local, but.
We talking about, like, jaw, femur, you know, like all in my bones, you know. Yeah. And we talk about a blood cancer, so it's not like I was so far along I couldn't pinpoint it. But like you dying. Yeah. Like you dying, homie. Like you pushed it too long.
Yeah. Like
what was you waiting for? The reality of the situation, to tell you the truth of what you already knew was happening. And so it's like, okay, let's do it. 6 months treatment, 12 rounds chemo. Let's knock it out. Let's do it.
That was your mindset. So you find out you got stage 4 cancer. Now it's like, shoot, do this chemo. I'm gonna do these 6 rounds.
I'm trying to see my sister graduate from high school. I'm trying to let my grandma see me graduate from my master's program. Yeah. I'm 26.
Yeah,
you know,
young. You was feeling it. You was going. You felt like you was getting into your flow, your energy, all of that, and then all of a sudden the e-brake got put on hard. Like, time out. We got to take care of something
real quick.
And that's just like I said in the beginning. It's a part of your story. So like you going through chemo, and like for those who don't know what chemo is like, from what I've been told and just hearing what you're saying, and it's like I know people who have gone through chemotherapy and come out on the other side with some crazy side effects like lupus and things like that, or just like I know what you is like you've noticed it in your digestive, like you know now you got like you're gluten free.
Yep.
But like that process of chemo, what's that like?
It's nerve-wracking at first.
Yeah.
Because I was the youngest person in there.
For sure.
Like,
dang.
At that point, I'm seeing, like, all these old people around me.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's not encouraging.
Right,
you know, like, that's not encouraging because you also know at that point in time, if you have any, like, understanding of medical history, people that are older don't tend to always survive.
Right.
But because I'm young, I got a 55% chance.
Right.
Like, clinically, stage 4, 55. Oh, we over the hump. There's other cancers that you get to stage 4.
It's a wrap.
You ain't got no chance.
Start planning your funeral.
You know? And so, chemo was rough. Like, the first 3 rounds was, like, really bad, like, throat sores. And then, like, just, like, not being able to eat, but, like, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Lucid dreams.
Wow.
Dreams were like, did that happen? That ain't happen.
Just trippy.
Beyond trippy.
Messing with your mind.
Messing with your mind.
Dun, 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 dun. Mind playing tricks on me.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And, you know, sometimes you just like, okay, one day at a time.
Yeah.
One day at a time. Okay, what we gonna do today?
Yeah.
We're gonna do some homework today.
That's all you can do.
We're gonna get some t-shirts made today. Yeah. You know, what we gonna do today? All right, let's get up and take a walk. Yeah. Let's do this. Hey, let's go to the movies before everybody else gets there. You know, like, I had to play a system.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even to the point where I think I had got, you know, thank God, no lie, like, halfway through of the 12 rounds, I was 90%.
Yeah.
Cancer-free.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, okay, it's working. All right.
Yeah.
You know, what we got to do? Well, you got to take the rest of the 6. Okay. I'll take it. Yeah. I'm living. I'm living. Hey, can I go to this concert this weekend? Well, is it indoors? No, not really. Well, if you go outdoors, wear your mask. You know,
you was wearing masks before it was a thing.
Yeah. I mean, I was in the, you know, grocery store with the mask on, riding on the little thing because I couldn't walk through the store because I didn't have enough energy. Yeah. Riding through the thing, you know. Is she okay? Is she good? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. That is something to me though. Like as I'm hearing you talk about it, like that's like being in a place where, as a 26-year-old person who can't really walk because they don't have the energy to walk. Right.
Right. But then it's like I think it kind of goes back to that question I asked you on a hike. I was thinking about the dualities of life, right? But they're just thinking about life and death, right? Those are two dualities of life, right? And so for you, experiencing really being close to death, or being to this point where it's like you were weak and like in the sense of physically, couldn't do some of the things. What have you learned about life after being so close to death? How do you see life now?
I gotta take some.
I feel that that's a deep question. That's because
I think I definitely view life in a way like, let's be kind to ourselves.
Yeah, that's real.
Let's be gentle with the things that we do and how we treat people. And also understand that people come and go in your life.
Yeah.
People gonna let you down. People gonna show up. Some people not.
Yeah.
You know, and it's okay.
Life goes on.
It goes on. And it really goes on. Cause like, I'm not gonna lie. When my grandma died, I thought I was gonna crack. Like I thought that was gonna be the end. Cause like, that's my best friend. Somebody I done been through some things with. Just always been there, you know. It's like, I understand that I too, one too, will die as well. Yeah. Regardless of the fact of what I do today, tomorrow, any day may come, you know, I am going to die. And when you get to that point where you have that understanding of that, it's just like, if it get done today, it get done today. Right. If it don't, it don't. Like, okay.
Nah, and like you got your little to-do list. I know I peeped that when I got in the car with you.
Yeah, definitely got to keep the to-do list because it always gets smaller, then it keeps growing because it's always something, you know, new you got to do. Yeah. But like I told you earlier, you know, the little accomplishments you make go into the bigger picture at the end of the day. So it's one day at a time, and you know, what's your quest? Like you know, with the whole brand, what's your quest for the day? Why are you doing it? Do you have your intentions for what you're doing, or is it just like this? You know, where now it's like I'm living, right? Because before I think I was living, but I wasn't living like in a sense of, you know, being present
in the moment,
understanding what I'm comfortable with, understanding how to be vulnerable, speaking my truth, and then, you know, also understanding that I can step away from things when I choose to, regardless if that might make someone else feel some type of way. Because sometimes people don't understand that, yes, there's time for closure, but then in some aspects, sometimes people just need to take a step back, to take a moment to debrief, and then we can come back and then have that closure.
See clearly. Yeah, sometimes you gotta be apart.
Yeah.
You know, maybe let things heal, let things settle, and then be able to have a conversation clearly.
Exactly.
I get that. I think though too, like, we can go into the expectation part of things, right? Even I'll backtrack it to just back to your to-do list because I think that's cool. Yeah. It's like the way you broke it down to me the other day of just like, you know, what's your quest for the day? Right. That's a great way to look about it. Like so like sometimes I get obsessed with the adventure of life or the journey of life and thinking like, all right, what's gonna happen in 5 years from now?
Exactly.
Right. But yeah, that's cool. That's a part of the journey. But when I guess paradigm shifting myself from what you was talking about, like looking at it as every day, it's an opportunity. Like every day is building up a part of the journey. It creates the journey, right? It's the little things make up the big things.
Exactly. And that's like, that's how I'm getting with my art now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, used to not always be like, oh man, I'm good. But like, I used to have people on campus that used to be like, yo, Q, you dope. And I'm like, for real, word? Like, a lot of people don't realize, like, I really didn't start art until Wingate. Yeah. I never touched anything until Wingate.
You just cultivated over time?
Like, I mean, little things here and there, but like never put anything together. Yeah. Like, I was in my junior year. I didn't want to do the bio thing no more. I was just like, I'm done with this. I'm done. What do I want to do? Let's make art. I don't know why, but do it.
And you got good at it really fast.
Right. Like, I just picked it up. Like, I got a job at ad team. I'm making flyers for people. I'm doing the posters. I'm, okay, hey, like, I can make a job out of this. To the point now where some of our friends hit me up. Yo, can you do a tattoo for me? Can you do a logo for me? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I appreciate people reaching out to me because that's all I've always wanted to do is help people. I told you I always want to help people, but I never knew how. And I feel like with me telling my quest and showing other people's quests, I'm helping people realize that they too can do it too. Regardless of the fact what trials or tribulations you may have or the trauma you may have gone through. Like, if you want it that bad, then you're going to sit down with yourself and you're going to fix whatever you might need to fix. You're going to be disciplined about it. And you're going to get it done. And those are the people that we see that are, doing what they say, and then as well as living out their dream because they're not, allowing the expectations to take them down, or even understanding that maybe I shouldn't set high expectations for myself because I know myself well enough to know I'm not going to be able to do that. So, okay, let me hear. Okay.
Those small things.
Right.
Small
right. Up. Let's not.
Yeah, I do. I think, like, in that, like, sometimes the expectations that we put upon ourselves are just expectations that we think other people have of us. Like, I struggle with that.
Oh,
right?
For sure.
I struggle with that, of thinking, like, oh, so-and-so probably thinks of me this way, so I feel like I need to act like this or be like this. Versus, in reality, you don't, unless you have a clear conversation with that person, you don't know what expectations they may or may not have. And at the end of the day, their expectations don't really matter that much as long as you have expectations for yourself.
Exactly.
And you can be honest with yourself. So what are the expectations that you have for yourself? You know what I'm saying? So
like, I mean, overall, like, period. And, I'm nobody far perfect. I done did my dirt, all that good stuff.
We all human.
But kind of like I told you, on the hike earlier today, I strive to be a better person than the day I was before. Yeah. And, for those who really don't know what I do now, I actually teach at a charter school and a nonprofit organization. So I work with 16 to 24-year-olds who are, coming back to get their high school diploma. Yeah. Or, the public school system wasn't working for them when they were there. And they come back to my center. So I teach all subjects. I help with the GED. I do all those things. And when I take all of that in consideration to what I'm doing and how I want to live my life, I want to set that example. I got siblings that look up to me. I got students that look up to me. I got coworkers that also look up to me, because some people, in some senses, do have an expectation for black women, black teacher women, because of the history of what black women have done. Some people also had this expectation if you're young. Like, I definitely have had some teachers, not even teachers or parents. You're the teacher? Yeah, I'm the teacher. Yeah. Oh, you look just as young as they are. I mean, I'm not, but I am.
I know what I'm doing.
Like, I can get on the same level with your child, and we can have a conversation. Yeah. But yet, I'm pretty sure your child's gonna learn something from me before they leave out of this place.
For sure.
Before they get their high school diploma.
Right.
It might not be algebra. They might have learned it. They might have not stuck, but they did what they needed to do to complete that assignment. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Teach them. They know somebody careful.
Yeah, it's a different program, but the program that I've seen in the way that it is thrive. It's not something that we have down in the South, and I believe that a lot of people can really start cultivating in this. Giving people a second chance. Yeah. Giving people the opportunity to understand that there's some things that they cannot control. Right. They were put in these situations, but yet they should not be faulted by not being able to get an education. Right. Regardless of how old you are.
Right.
It shouldn't be like that. Yeah. Everybody has the right to learn, and that's the game we play in this society. You got the high school diploma, you can play the game. What's the next game? Oh, you can get a job. Right. Like, it's crazy.
It holds a lot of people back.
It
Especially like you said, like, if somebody is coming up at a certain time, maybe they were a teenager and they just, you don't always see the full picture. Like, we might just see a snapshot of this child as they come into the school, and then they may act like this for a certain reason, but you don't know what's going on at the house. You don't know what's going on in their personal life that may cause them to not have a valued interest in education. Right?
Exactly.
And the truth of the matter is that the traditional form of education isn't for everybody.
Nope.
It's not for everybody. And you can tell, like, in certain students, some of the things they may gravitate towards, and it's like, well, we probably should be pushing this child in that direction.
Exactly.
But because, like you were saying, like, the labels, or not the labels, but like you have to have this diploma. And so it's just like being able to help somebody, like, all right, I see where you're trying to go. Let's go ahead and get these necessary steps in to get this piece of paper. Yeah. So that you can go ahead and do what it is that you really want to do and try to build a life that's better for yourself and for the people that's coming after you.
Yeah. And I mean, during this COVID time, you know, with 2020 happening, with this distant learning, it's unmotivated them. You know, it's definitely put them like, well, what's this worth? Yeah. What's this for? Right. You know, like, you got to remember all the things we've been through in 2020 between, you know, the riots, presidency, the COVID. They're watching too. You know, they're young adults too, trying to make decisions and don't have very much knowledge about it, but have a voice. For sure. They want to be heard. Yeah. They understand enough. You know what I'm saying? They do. They don't need to read 25 documents on something that you put in some type of term that they'll never understand. Just tell them what it is. Yeah. You know, just put it how it is, and they'll respect you for that. Right. But if you don't, you sugarcoat it with these kids these days. They're gonna look at you like
you saying some BS.
Right.
Yeah, they know it. They can call out BS, and it's like they can play that game too. Like, okay, this is how you want to do it. All right.
Exactly.
No, that's real. So, but like for me, it feels like you are. Like, I know you're trying to grow your brand, but like, it's like at the end of the day, you are living your brand. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because like, a part of that is like discovering your purpose, So right now, what you're doing within your job right now is like you're still helping people discover their purpose, and so in that, it's like
it's like I'm grateful and thankful. You know, like I said, 2018, I didn't have no job. I didn't know how I was paying half my bills half the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, to the point where now I got a job, I get paid well, I can still help my students succeed. I see myself succeeding because I'm getting better with some things too, because, you know, I don't have a degree in education, so I didn't learn how to get educated. But, you know, I have a mother that taught for 20 years that I watch and just kind of gravitated to all the teachers that I've had over time, you know, to the point where now I'm just like, if you really understand that, like we talked about earlier, like, let go, and just be present, learn how to forgive and have some grace.
That's the start of it,
right? And I've been living a little bit better, you know, like not too many. Anxiety of like, okay, is this gonna be this? Is this gonna happen? And like, it's not that. Or, you know, I used to have really bad depression. Like, definitely, like, man, I don't want to go to work today. Hey, I can't make it today. I'm not feeling good. And I mean, in some senses, I wasn't feeling good. I'm going through it, you know. But now it's like, okay, depression was for a minute and a time. We didn't want to feel like that, so we're going to put in some work. We're going to do some things, you know. We're going to do some therapy. We're going to talk about what we're going through, how we really feeling. Like, we talking about it all. Man, okay, George Floyd died. Okay, then Chadwick died. And, you know, okay, that's a trigger. Okay, now we got anniversaries coming around. But we're still losing family members during this time. Okay, but you still got to go to work and be an example for your students, right? Okay.
That's always the tough part.
You know, like, you can't show, well, how you doing, Miss Q? And my students really do ask me, like, Miss Q, how you doing? And I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really appreciate that because they ain't got to ask.
Let me ask you this. So, when they ask you that question, how honest are you with them?
Most of the time, I try to be as honest as possible. Like, I'm like, y'all, it's been a crazy day. Like, had this going on, but you know what? We're here. You ready to do some work? Yeah, Miss Q, you know, I'm glad to know you're doing good. I'm like, yeah, same thing with y'all. What can I do to help you today? You know, like, to the point where one of my students, I help her children with their homework. You know, or okay, I'm sending an extra reminder. Hey, your kids got tutoring today.
Yeah, just letting them know. Because
exactly.
Honestly, yeah, sometimes it takes that bit of support.
Yeah.
Like, but I think one thing you were saying, like, I feel like with anybody who works in the industry of just, I don't know, like public service.
Public service.
Public service, right?
Public, not private. Not those who can pay. Those who may be in need.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, as public servants, I feel like we can get into this space where we're constantly giving ourselves away in service to others because, number one, that's for many, I would say for a good bit of public servants, it's because they're passionate about helping other people. And then all the other part, obviously, it's your job, right? And so sometimes I know, like, I've gotten to the place where I can give so much of myself away and I've forgotten to take care of me.
Right.
I've forgotten to take care of Matthew. So, like, I'll get to a place where I'm stressed, burnt out, and, like, I just don't feel like it because I haven't taken that time to disconnect with the world to check in with me. Be like, yo, are you good? How are you doing? Like, let's figure some things out. And then, like, in those moments when I'm not taking time for myself and I still have to be present for my children at school and things like that, it's so much harder.
Right.
And it's like, and I think, like, the thing is, children can pick up on that. Like, I remember one time I had a student that sent something. He was like, your energy is off. He was just like, straight up. Yeah, he was like, your energy is dead today, Mr. Gibson. And I'm like, dang, you right.
Right.
You right. You called me on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm over here thinking that, like, all right, I'm cooling. But nah, they pick up on that, like, oh, it's good.
Because they care. Like you said, they care. They see you, because they see you every day. They build this bond with you.
For sure.
They trust you. You know, that whole thing about trust.
Yeah.
Because in some senses, as a teacher, as a mentor, counselor, you're guiding, you know. And if we're guiding, in some senses, that person is trusting you. If I could not see and you were my guide, I'm trusting you to make sure that I don't step out on the road and the car hit me.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like being open with them too, like, you know, as open as I can be.
Oh yeah.
But like, when they like, it was good, because like on the flip side of it, when there's something wrong with them and I notice it, and I want them to be forthcoming, right? In the sense of, like, you know, it's a safe space to just express or just be.
Yep.
You don't have to put on a fake smile if you're not feeling.
Yeah, if you're not feeling it today, please let me know. I mean, I have my students that come in, you know, Miss Q, you know what happened to me today? Yeah. Whoa, and da-da-da-da-da. And, okay, all right, you got it out now? Yeah. You good? So what we got to work on today? We got like 45 minutes. What can you complete for me today? Yeah. Oh, okay, Miss Q, I got you back. Cool, thank you. Can I listen to some music? Yeah, go ahead. Sure. If you going to get that work done, go ahead. You going to be quiet so everybody else can continue to work? Go ahead. You know, it's a... Teaching is a job that has many rewards than what you get paid, you know, and every teacher knows that has ever worked. Yeah, we would like to get paid more because we do a lot. Don't get me wrong.
Teachers wear a lot of hats.
But at the end of the day, the smiles we get to see, the relationships we still get to build, even though, you know, relationships I still got with some of my teachers from high school. For sure. You know, like, still check on me, still make sure I'm good. Relationships I had with teachers at Wingate, you know, like me and Miss Harness. You know, she was actually my advisor, but she also had lymphoma too. Oh, okay. You know, so like having different relationships and not knowing how your paths are really gonna, you know, transpire in the end is like crazy. Yeah, it's really crazy. That's you real. Know? That's real. Like, even to like a lot of people don't even know, like, you know, me and Matt always been cool, y'all. Like, since I met Matt before he even came to Wingate. But when I was sick, I was going to go visit my cousin Harry Giles. Many of y'all don't know him, plays for the NBA. He was having a camp at Chris Paul's gym. D1 at the time. And this happened to be at the time they had changed some of my medicines during my treatment, and this was like when I couldn't walk. So I'm actually walking with a cane, you know, like got this cane walking up, and I see somebody holding the door. Like, they see my mom and my sisters go through the door, and they continue to hold the door. But little do I know it's Matt sitting there at the door. Like, I'm like, oh man, like, okay, what's up, Matt? Like, dang, it's been a while. What's up, Q? You know, like, at this point in time, I don't think a lot of people knew I was back in North Carolina for real. Because I kind of just slid back in. I didn't really tell nobody I was really back. But it was great. And so it was just always like those kind of things. Like I said, I always listen to those things because I feel like God tell you when you should have certain people in your life. Yeah. And those people can be, you know, like you, my little brother, my big little brother, you know, like always gonna be somebody, hey, you good? Cool, okay. You know, always check on you, you know, because at the end of the day, I feel like regardless of the fact, you can always take at least 2 seconds out the day to touch base with somebody. Yeah. You know, I always touch base with somebody. You know, like today, hey Harry, okay, I love you, I'm proud of you, thank you, cuz I really need that, I love you too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, take little moments. One of my cousins just finished her nursing degree. Yeah, cuz, you know, I'm so proud of you, I see you, woo woo.
Encouraging folks, right? Because you never know when you gonna need that encouragement, you gonna need that support, and it's not that the fact that I'm just gonna encourage you so one day I can get it every time. Right. But it's just like it's that reaping and sowing. And it's like if I'm reaping this encouragement, I know, or if I'm sowing this encouragement, I know I'm gonna reap it in return one day. And I think like for you, one thing that I see from your story, just from outside looking in too, is support. So just having conversations with you throughout this last few days of just hearing how like people came through supporting you when you had cancer. Just like sometimes it'd be like out of the blue, like dang, where did these people come from? It's like, damn, I really am loved. Like it comes out of nowhere, and it's like all of that love that you put out, it's like, dang, when you needed it the most, it came back to you. And it's like you started receiving that, you received that, and like even now in where you at in this next phase,
transition. Right. And that was like the thing that I kind of learned on this 2020 COVID healing, get your life together. Don't be afraid of it. For sure. Don't be afraid of love. You know, we all get into don't be afraid of love. Like I definitely had gotten to a point where I kind of had gotten afraid, you know, from my own personal child traumas with my parents and just relationships and things like that, you know, I had gotten afraid of allowing people that was really close to me to love me because I'm losing people I'm loving. You know, they dying like this. I mean, and I was just losing people, losing cousins, losing a lot of male cousins, like heart attack, overdose, just different health issues, you know, and that's why my brand is really tailored towards young black men. Yeah. Because I feel like they don't have that structure to tell them that they can succeed, that they have a quest, that they can be whatever they want to be, because they're always told, you know, a couple things. You can be a rapper, shut up and dribble, play some football. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, it's not cool to be an educated black man. Yeah. Why? Yeah. Why is it not cool to be an educated black man?
I think it's like, I think those are the things that we were shown growing up. That's what we were exposed to growing up. But like, there's so much that can be an aspect of who you are. Like that could be a part, that could be how you express yourself, but it's also so much more to you, you know what I'm saying? And I think like, so I know for me especially, I was so hyper focused. Right. I was so hyper focused on being a great athlete or great, like, so for so long, my identity was wrapped in the game of football. Yeah. Like, yo, that's who I was. Matthew is a football player, that's who he is, but hindsight 2020, looking at it 3 years removed from the game, I look back and I see that football was just how I expressed my love for the game. I was passionate. Right. I'm a passionate person. Exactly. I was passionate about the game of football, so I expressed that by being a great athlete, by working out, by playing the game of football. And so I think
that kind of goes back to what we was just talking about with everything that you want to do and you continue to do. Don't be afraid to love it. Right. Because it might fall. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's a lot of our fear for love sometimes tends to deteriorate us from the things that we want to do. Yeah. Right? Because, man, if I love this so hard and I don't do it the way that I envisioned it to happen, this way, no, I'm not going to do it at all.
Right. So it's just fear, Rosie.
Exactly.
So it's like that love and fear can't coexist.
They can if you understand how to love fear within itself. It's like that thing of dying that we talked about. Fear is dying. You know what I'm saying? It's two negatives, two dark entities. Fear is bad. You know, love is light. Okay, cool. But they don't, it's like water and oil don't really mix. Yeah, exactly. But it can look really nice.
Okay.
But it can look nice when you balance it, right?
Yeah.
You know, when you put it in a water bottle and you can see it.
Yeah.
It can still create something beautiful.
Yeah.
You just got to learn how to not let it consume.
Don't let you, like lean into it. So like, I guess the way like of leaning into it is just doing it. So whatever it is that you're afraid to do, the best way to ease that fear is to do that thing that you're afraid of.
You're not gonna know if it's gonna rub you the wrong way or make you discomfort until you do it.
Right, and then it's like once you do it though, you have the ability of that experience to know like, oh, okay.
And now you're not in the unknowing with the fear of unknowing what you may have done.
Yeah, I think like the most pain that comes from fear is just the fear of something happening.
Because that gives you that anxiety.
Happened. Yeah,
that gives you that rubbing down in the rabbit hole. Okay,
kills your confidence.
Yeah, you start questioning yourself.
Yeah, you start to that your intuition, all that it starts to get questioned in the process of
the expectation that you're setting for yourself.
Exactly.
And it's just like, don't have no expectations for yourself or don't have expectations for anyone else. And I think at the end of the day, things can be really good.
Yeah.
You know, down to even like, you know, with our social media stuff. If you don't have expectations and you just go with the flow. Shoot, I'm thankful for my, 1,700 followers. Yeah. Like, I'm cool with that.
Right.
You know, and the fact is, I get new followers all the time.
Yeah.
And so,
I think, like, when it comes to that, it's just like, I think it's, about knowing yourself and what it is that you're wanting. So, like, if you do set expectations for yourself, then it's like, all right, you can be strategic, like especially if it's social media or something like that. Like you can be strategic about how you want to try to market whatever it is that you are promoting,
right.
or that you're putting out there, so that people can buy in and be attracted to those things. And so, but then
at the same time, don't worry about it because people will find you. And support you because they'll find something that translates. Whatever your goal is, you'll find that audience.
Yeah.
And whether it's 20 people, 30 people, 2,000 people, somebody's going to relate with it, translate with it, feel it, something about that. So knowing that, I think, helps just lean into it. Is that knowing, because once you already tell a friend already going to support you.
I think
that's one person.
I think too. Yeah, I think that's one thing. That's one thing. Two things that in my head. The first thing is just like leaning into where I've always been told this, but like it doesn't matter if you got 10 people or you got 10,000 people. Take advantage of the influence that you do have, because like a lot of times I think we can get caught up in this grand gesture of wanting to always be on a big scale. Like, I want to have 10,000 people following me so that I'm saying I'm making moves, but what would it look like to have 10 people that is very faithful to what you got, but you're also giving them valuable information that helps them?
Right.
You never know. Like that 10 people that you've helped, that might be the difference maker in generations to come.
Exactly.
Because you took the time to take it personal to really help people, versus like needing this mass crowd. Right. It's like I think what people are.
Because we can speak to the masses, but the masses is necessarily not going to always be listening.
Sometimes the masses are just here for the show. Like
exactly.
It's just because everybody else said it, and not really. I think what people are needing and wanting and are truly desired to, like connected to, is authenticity. People who are authentically themselves versus like gimmicks or like just I would say gimmicks or any other thing that try to attract more. Yeah. I think when we don't
like fake.
Nah, when you are authentically yourself, you start to people like, damn, I like that. He's just being himself, and like I'm gonna go. Like I think about Toby Nwiggly. He is the perfect definition of somebody who started with his Get Twisted Sundays.
Yeah.
Just being authentic and doing what he loved, rapping about the things that he wants to rap about. Right. And doing it in a way that is genuinely him. And over the last 3 years, his reach has grown. Like the rappers that he's doing mixes with, like features with now, or like doing
just the
records
way
with.
the visualizations that this man is coming up with is genius. As a creative, like thank you.
This is dope.
Like Pharrell, the things that he's doing for Black entrepreneurs now. Like I actually know someone who was a voiceover for Pharrell's last promotion that he just came out with for Black entrepreneurs. Like, you know, and you just never know who you're gonna meet. I've met so many people out here in the Bay Area that support me. Yo, where you going next? Oh, okay, cool. How can I be support to you? How can I do this? And that's really what my quest is too, you know, in the grand scheme, is to go different places, meet people, listen to their story, me talk, that's beautiful. Have a conversation. Kind of like what you're doing right now, you know, that whole travel thing.
And just listen to stories.
Because I want to learn. That's learning to me. I can learn in a book, but I'm never going to learn, you know, if I don't ever go to that place and meet the people that live there that can actually tell me the truth and not something that these, you know, tabloids are telling us in the news. You know, I want to know the truth about their culture, why they eat this certain type of food. Like I've eaten grasshoppers before. Yeah. Like, you know, that's something that's one way now. Here. Yeah, it's a lot of cultures. Don't get me wrong. It was an interesting experience. But I took the experience, you know what I'm saying? Like, in different cultures, that is a high thing in protein, you know? That, you know, you just...
gluten-free.
It's gluten-free. That is correct. It is gluten-free. But you learn, and I learned a lot here in California. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about the things that I want to continue to do in my life. And I learned how to take care of myself, you know, in a healthy way, you know, from the way I eat. To regardless of the fact if North Carolina is conducive to walking or not like this, you know, like I've just learned how to be Quezshonda, you know, not just be Q, but be Quezshonda, you know, and a lot of people like to be like, well, Quezshonda is this person and Q is this person, but no, like in reality, I'm really the same person all the time, but you know, I've always gone by Q for the simple fact that many people can't say my name, but this is who this is who Quezshonda is, and I will continue to you know, thrive to be this person, and I'm not gonna change that for nobody. It doesn't make a difference, you know, what relationship I'm in, what strides I'm making in my career. If I'm a bomb-ass artist, I'm always gonna, you know, maintain and stay to who I am, what my morals and my values are, and just to have fun and, you know, remain to always be me.
I love to hear people talk about how they are comfortable in their own skin, like becoming more comfortable in their skin. I think in a lot of ways, we can be taught to not be comfortable as who we are. We're taught to suppress the desires that we may have or how we express ourselves and things like that because it's not right. It doesn't fit this certain label.
Or it's not normal.
It's not normal. But it's just not normal because that's something that they may have never seen, right?
Exactly.
And expressed.
Exactly. And that was what I got in the South. That's why I had to leave because I am different. I'm fully aware that I'm different. I'm not like everybody else, but I was so torn into being authentic in that and knowing who that was and having people say this and this expectation of who they thought I was, and I gotta separate. I gotta leave. I gotta come somewhere that I know, for one, I can be who I want to be.
Amen.
I can learn some things, see some things, and I mean, as you know, like you've been here for 2 days, but it's a lot of stuff to do around here.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot.
So, with time comes change, and change is growth. And I think we all, if we can learn a little bit to lean in with the growth, then we'll understand that something beautiful can happen.
That's beautiful. All right, if you could talk to Lil Quezshonda before she, like, what year did you move out here?
2015.
So, all right, if you could talk to that version of yourself before you moved out here, knowing all the stuff that you've been through, all right, so cancer to coming back, leaving and coming back, all that,
right? Your
whole story, knowing all the stuff that you know now, if you could give the 2015 version of yourself some advice before moving out here, what would you have said? And that maybe it's just about life. It don't necessarily have to be about the move to Cali. Yeah. But just like, what kind of life advice do you think?
Have faith and it's gonna be okay. Like, just, and that sounds real cliche, but it's real.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay.
Because in every moment that was big that I took came 2015, you know, from moving out here with like $500 in my pocket to, you know, moving back and forth. Have faith. It's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay.
Everything's going to be all right. You good. Because, you know, God got you. The universe got you. Everything that you want, hope, and desire is going to happen. Be patient with me.
Yeah.
He wasn't listening to me at first. Kind of had to wake you up a little bit, shake you. He was being stubborn. But here, it's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay.
Live life.
I like that. I think that's a word for me too.
Yeah.
I'm learning that, like, to recognize. I think, like, in times within myself, I think it's like the anxiousness, that anxious voice that makes me feel like almost expecting things to go wrong. And so, like, what that does is drain the beauty of the moment, of this present moment, because it's like, or stop you from really allowing somebody to love you, receiving the love from somebody else, because you're not, they're gonna walk away, they're gonna leave, they're gonna do something, they're gonna try. So before before you hurt me, I'm just gonna go ahead and put up this ball. I think recognizing that it's gonna be okay no matter what, even if that person leaves, even if it doesn't work out how you saw it working out, and with anything that you're pursuing, like, it's gonna be okay. Like, even even if you lose somebody that you truly love, it may hurt like hell.
But it's
I ain't
gonna
gonna
be
say
okay.
it's gonna be
okay. Because I mean, it did hurt. Yeah. It does hurt. Right. It does hurt because it hasn't been one time. It's been multiple times.
Healing is always ongoing.
Yeah. And there's stages, you know. Yeah. And when you learn that there's stages to grief, and accept those things, there's acceptance, there's denial, there's understanding. It's all these different parts to it that you just, okay. Yeah. I'm at this part. Yeah. You recognize it. You own it. Right. Okay. I'm gonna let this happen. I'm gonna do this part of this. Where even too, I'm going to love myself while I do this, because I know if I don't love myself, I might not be good anyway, because I'm hurting already, but I'm not checking myself. Right.
When we don't love ourselves, we start looking to fill them holes in other people or substance or whatever it may be. Exactly. Start looking at everything else and not recognizing that it's been given to us.
Back to that, looking into the mirror and knowing and wanting to be loved by not just my family, but my friends and people that I've met through time, got me to where we at now. You know, it's the end of 2020 almost. We got 15 days.
It's like
20 days.
7, I don't know. Don't give me the line.
Yeah, 20 days.
I think it's the 11th, right? So
a little bit
major. I'm not. I don't even feel like exerting that mental energy to figure it out.
Nah, but I've been thankful for 2020.
For real. What's the greatest lesson of 2020 for you?
The greatest lesson was the love part.
Loving yourself.
Love myself and let people love me. Yeah, that was a big thing. I really did that. I actually got what I wanted.
That's real.
I at this point in time, with everything, with making this cross country trip, with moving back home, to just even the choices with my job situation.
Yeah, for shizzle. For shizzle. Why did I say that? Why did I just say for shizzle?
Because we've been taking it back old school since you've been here. You know
for
we
shizzle.
have.
Who the heck do I think I am?
I still do it on
for shizzle, my nizzle.
You in the West Coast.
D double dizzle. I know, right? I'm gonna start talking.
So it's definitely been. It's been great. It's just made me realize that love and being loved is okay.
Heck yeah. It's hard, but
it's okay. And I know that. Like, have faith. I got you.
You're gonna be okay.
You're gonna be okay. And say hello to fear. And then say goodbye. And then keep moving.
I like that.
There you go.
I like that. I think for me, mine has been being kinder to myself. I've recognized how freaking critical I am. I have a very critical inner voice, and I'll say I've learned. Let me reframe that. I've learned to have a critical inner voice over my life, just from the voices that I've absorbed.
Right.
And it's almost like that ego death we was talking about earlier, to like keep myself in check to do certain things, but it's like it's no grace whatsoever for me. And that has hindered my self-esteem, and I just think confidence. And so like learning to be kinder to myself and more gentle, like you were saying, with yourself, especially as a man. The word gentle sometimes you make it feel like, nigga, you being soft, right? But it's like, nah, you got to be gentle with yourself. Yeah. Not to say like you couldn't, you're like being lazy.
Gentle is care.
Yeah.
It's not. Oh, you look real pretty. It's not that. Gentle is care. Yeah. Gentle is love. You know, like a lot of men be like, oh, I don't need to get no massage. Man, yes you do.
Need to get the shoulders rubbed.
All right, man. Like, relax. Stress. Your body is stressing. Your mind is stressing. You're stressing at multiple different things on top of stressors. Yeah. Well, it actually kills you.
Carry stress in our bodies.
Okay, I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm drinking this beer. You know, like, you're not taking care of your body, your temple. You know, not your mind, but your temple that your mind manifests in.
We carry so much stress. Like, people don't recognize that, but we do. We carry stress in our bodies. So when we start stressing in our minds, that shit builds up in our bodies as well.
Your body feels that.
You might be tense. Like, you might feel like some people have really tense shoulders, right? That's stress. Like, learning to just deep breathe, relax, get off your feet. Yeah. Talk about some of the things, like, let it out versus, like, stirring on it.
Exactly.
And like that's a word to myself. Like I feel like I've done a lot better job, but I know I still can get down these rabbit holes where I'm just quiet and I'm just like disassociating.
And sometimes you need that though. Sometimes you need that. It's not bad to go down the rabbit hole. Right. Sometimes you need to kind of play some mind games with yourself just to see how you might react. But I think I believe that you're on the right path with, just being intuitive with yourself, being kind with yourself, even with, your words, being consciously aware to share the fact that you are going through these trials and tribulations that you want for yourself. Like, I want to get better with this. This is something that I struggle with, and this is how I'm doing it. Because you're learning how to be authentic within your truth. Right? And that truth allows you to just be set free. You know, like with the tattoo, just free.
My baby got the new ink on me.
You know, free. It allows you to learn how to be free because you're just
free to be myself.
Right. Because you're not anything else.
No expectations of what others may think or even what I think others may think. You know? Yeah. There's the and what did you say you want to do? And just do it.
Yeah. And I think I'll tell you again, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of a lot of people that we went to school with. That's like during 2020 has made some moves. You know what I'm saying? Like didn't get discouraged. Didn't allow this time to say, oh, I'm just gonna sit in the house and not do nothing. Yeah. No, I'm gonna do what I say and I'm gonna put this to work. I'm gonna show people that these are my dreams. These are the things that I've envisioned for myself. And you doing that, with this trip and what you going on, you're showing people like, hey, I needed some time for myself and I needed to reflect. But on that way, I met some people that was hella cool and helped me.
Yes. Yes. Helped me a lot. Right. Y'all have helped me a lot. Like every step away from Colorado to LA to the Bay, and tomorrow the last trip in Seattle. Right. Like. This has been a blessing, just like the love that I felt from every single body, like just being able to come into your homes and just like have a place to stay, have food to eat, and just like just good time, like and understanding like, yo, make sure you relax, you on vacation, like quit bugging, quit thinking too much, just relax, dude. Like that helped me to just like, all right, feel safe, like all right, I can take up space, I can just
we all take up space,
just be
positive space, not negative space.
True.
We are a positive entity. We are a mass. That's real. And
good vibes only.
Always good vibes only. But see, that's the thing where I'm learning that my southern hospitality doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't matter if I'm in Italy, here, Hawaii. It's gonna stay the same no matter what.
Treating people with empathy, kindness, and love. Just all that. That goes a long way. That dog going crazy. Man. It's all funny.
But nah, for sure, man. Like I definitely appreciate you. For coming out here, for visiting me, for letting me be a part of your podcast. You know, I definitely watched it. You know, we always talked about.
You being loud, Snoop. I'm gonna need you to calm down, big dog. Relax, my guy.
You gotta shake it out, man. When you're waking up and your sleep is good.
This dog is going crazy. I ain't my guy. Go on the roof.
Yeah, so he mad because Jay locked him out. But no, like, keep doing what you're doing, man. For sure. Like, people, they see you, they hear you, and they respect you for what you're doing. Yeah. And it's a great thing.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It means a lot. It means a lot to hear. It does. And it's one of those things. It's like, all right, download it into your memory so you don't
right.
But nah, I do appreciate that. And so we'll end on this question.
Okay. Right? Yeah.
Last question. This is my end all questions I like to ask. All right. So imagine that you were in an auditorium full of 7.8 billion people. That's the population of the world.
Right.
Imagine you're in an auditorium with all the people in the world, and they came to hear you speak. They want to hear what Quashonda has to say. All right, so you have to give them some type of word of encouragement, some type of advice, or some type of wise nugget that helps them go back into their spheres of influence to be like change agents. All right, so let's say, because it's packed in there, you know, they want to get out and be safe. You got about 30 seconds to a minute, 30 seconds to say what you need to say. What is it? What would you say to the world?
To the world.
What would you say to the world?
If you love yourself first, then you could be a better player in the grand scheme of the life that we live. And not to be selfish when you do it, but with the intent to understand that if you are good, then the people around you in your community and close to you can also be good as well. Because there's enough. I think there's definitely enough for all of us to have equality in the grand scheme of it. You know, just like you've seen with the homeless, healthcare, Black Lives Matter, Latino Lives Matter. Doesn't matter. Everybody wants love and to be heard and seen. And you all are. You just gotta understand that it might not be to the masses, but someone close in your circle hears you, sees you, and they love you.
It starts by loving you, loving loving the person you see in the mirror.
Exactly.
It's beautiful. I appreciate that.
Of course.
I wish 7.8 billion people could hear that.
Nah.
I wish the world, because I wish that could be like broken down and put it in different language so everybody can hear.
I think people in 2020 kind of realized that though, because you know, without people actually coming together in the sense of voting, we would have never got where we got with Joe Biden. We would have been stuck in some sense of in that, you know, that hate still, instead of in the let's kind of kumbaya in some aspects. Like we don't agree on everything, but we do understand that this entity right here ain't getting it for the masses. So I think a lot of people did take that because they did take that right to go up there and vote and wasn't being selfish for themselves in this situation, but understanding that my vote actually can change in my community, locally, for my state government, but then also can change for federal government. And that also goes back into that educating one another, and then just knowing that we're different, but there's a lot of things that we can definitely agree on to live a better life here. Definitely.
No, I definitely think it starts with conversations in that regards too. A lot of people, there's a lot of conversations that need to be had in 2021.
Yeah, and that goes with that, learning from that conversation.
For sure.
And not having microaggressions. For sure.
Yeah, that's a whole. We could go to a whole.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, man.
I guess we done.
You're being real rude right now. You're being real rude, Snoop.
Okay.
All right. Quiet on the set, cuz.
Come get some water, man.
Quiet on the set, Snoop. All right. But nah, all right. So shout out to your Instagram and how people can get in touch with you, because, you know what I'm saying, you doing some dope stuff.
Yeah.
And I want people to be able to be exposed to this. So, like, where can they get in touch with you? How can they see your stuff? How can they buy stuff from you?
Right. So I know you nobody probably will see this before I actually get back home. So, you know, when the new year start, at this point in time, you know, follow me on the gram, at Quezt, which is Quezt, and then that's with the underscore. Just one underscore. Just one. Okay. When you go on there, by the time you hear this, you'll see the website up there, and the website is www.whatsyourquest, spelled the same way, QUEZT.com. And that is pretty much where I'll be launching a couple of different things. Some new clothes, some art's going to actually be for sale. The new things that I plan, I'm actually going to share with some people what I'm going to do in 2020. Yeah. Some of my own personal goals that I have with myself. 2020 over 2021.
2021. It's 2021. It's been like 6 years.
Yeah, it feels like it. We're still not out of the pandemic, but I'm living. The pandemic's not over just because you're over. Exactly. So therefore, continue, people. Please wear your mask. For people like me, I might look healthy, I might look good, but I still am considered a compromised immune system. So please take advantage. It doesn't just affect old people, it affects young people who have underlying things too as well. So anybody and everybody during this COVID time can be affected. It doesn't matter what age you are. So, take it serious. It's a real thing. But, be on the lookout, because at this point I'm doing more things now. There'll be more videos. There'll be another interview that'll come out. And, just keep growing and keep building.
Capturing the journey. You're capturing the quest.
The quest.
Capturing the quest. I think it's the quest times the journey. I like that. I like the.
Yeah.
You quest on the journey. It's the same thing. We all on our quest. I love it. Oh yeah,
me and Matt. Might want to be on the lookout. 2021 might become some new collabs. Definitely planning on doing some collaborations with some people for sure in 2021.
Yeah, same.
That's gonna be the new.
Same.
The new push is the collaboration push. Just because of some dope creators we know, for sure. Definitely plug in, Danny and Tim with the book and the illustrations with Jalen. That's a big kind of thing for us in some sense. Like, we know these people and they publishing things, they're making things happen. Stepping it up, everybody, definitely, for sure.
Definitely, I want to get into that collaborative spirit. I feel myself coming into that versus, oftentimes, especially as me, I feel like we can be bred to see everything as competition. That might not just be a man thing. That could be just a human being thing. And so, where you see everything as a competition, and sometimes when you look at things as a competition, you want to, try to separate yourselves. This is how I'm better. But in reality, a lot of times, it's supposed to be a collaborative spirit where it's like, my brother it's not a competition against you or me. It's we both trying to get somewhere. We both trying to put things out there. So let's help each other and share resources. Yeah, that's how we all eat.
We're gonna both be good.
Everybody eats, B.
Everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody eats, but that's real, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you welcoming your home. I appreciate you showing me a great time in the Bay and just being really very hospitable, and I appreciate that. It's a lot of love, and so I thank you for coming on Wisdom in the Room and just it's been a long day.
It has been a long day. We about to
crash
because you got a plane to catch.
I got a plane to catch in the AM. It's crazy. It's crazy, but you know what? I got my cool glasses on just so I can be cool like you. And so, but this is another episode of Wisdom in the Room. Thank you, Q, for coming on.
Of course.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all stay safe. Be blessed. Peace.